How's it going?
Hey, I suck at tech.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm glad I'm glad you joined, man. All right, Corey. All right, so I heard you read your story. It's short, simple. I mean, really, to be honest with you, if someone really needed an audio version of that, they might need some help. But I guess for those that are on the go, for those that are handicapped, or whatever, that blind and want to hear your story, that's fine too. But I liked it. I liked it.
Thanks,
I mean,
man.
obviously, I published it, but so what was your inspiration for Beached?
Well, I liked the idea that, like, I guess I was talking to another horror writer, and he was talking about how every horror story kind of comes from, like, this idea of the fairy tales, almost. I don't know, like, kind of like everything comes back to telling kids what not to do so they don't fuck up.
Oh, like a moral story sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it definitely had that sort of aspect. You know what? Yeah, it had that.
So I just,
There's a, there,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no. There was a fucking moral in the story. The moral of the story was, it's okay to exploit your own talented for the benefit of the town. That's great.
I just thought I'd kind of mess with that idea and kind of make something a little more twisted for the children.
Yeah, it definitely would be twisted for the fucking children. Um, I'm not really sure the site's child friendly, but it works. It works. So yeah, the irony was chock full of irony. That was delightful. Um, so what was your inspiration as far as I mean, you say the story was like a child, not really like a child's tale, but like you said, like a fairy tale. You're saying?
Yeah, I guess in a way almost, because I mean, I just kind of like the idea of just telling a whole story instead of showing it or getting into description almost, just like kind of just going for it. And I remember someone told me something about like the worst smell they could think of is like a rotting whale, and they read some like news story where they tried to like blow one up that was on a beach and it got all messed up. So I thought it would be fun to just see, like, I wonder what it would feel like to be inside that whale without.
Yeah, I mean, you conveyed that with such limited words, but it worked just fine. It read almost kind of like a I don't know, kind of like a news article on it. But you did much. You did so much with less. Is what I'm just saying, um, which which is good. Sometimes I read things where it's like I said this last time, um, where it's like they describe every little detail of every fucking thing that happens, and it's like you don't really need that. It gets distracting. I find.
And
I
like
don't.
you were saying earlier about like the coming on ADD of everyone and keeping it shorter. I don't know.
Oh yeah. So you were listening to that.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
clicking trying to get in there, but it wasn't working out.
Okay, good. So I wasn't just talking to myself. All right.
No, yeah, I was listening.
I actually kind of suck when it comes to tech at times. So I was like, man, it's okay. I'm just kind of playing around with this. Let's see what happens. This first I'm using a Google Hangouts thing, so this is working. But yeah. So as a writer, do you write mostly like flash fiction, or you?
Oh, right now, yeah. I mean, I think I've been working on some longer stuff, but I think most of the shorter stuff I write is horror and kind of like those little gross flashes.
What projects are you working on now?
Oh, I'm right now. I just finished a flash fiction piece where a bunch of baby piglets are eating their mother while they're milking.
That sounds fucking twisted. That's awesome.
So that's been my main thing that I've been doing right lately.
That sounds so awesome. Bunch of fucking piglets eating them all. I mean, that's so awesome. Like the symbolism. I, I wish I get more of that. To be honest with you, I mean, sometimes I get stories where it's like they focus on gore just for gore, but there's meaning behind that. Um, I guess you're probably curious how your story's doing.
Yeah, I mean, hell.
When you go to the site, does it show you the views and stuff on the post? It probably doesn't, does it?
No, sorry, yeah, no.
Yeah. I want to change that to see, to make it more transparent. Nice. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah, what you're saying about getting rid of the well. I was thinking about it just now. Like, I don't know if you ever watched Reno 911 or anything like that, because there's a whole episode where they're trying to like get rid of a well. They use grenades, and was it that show? I don't know.
I'll say I've watched that, but I don't know if I've seen that one. I might have to look that up tonight.
I think it was an episode, or was it in the freaking movie? I think it was in the movie, which was awful. I mean, it was hilarious at times, and it's like, but the question was like, how do they remove a well when it's beached? Because it's a fucking huge mammal. Like, how do you get rid of that thing? You saw it up with chainsaws?
Yeah, I did way too much research on how that happens.
Man, you're pretty detailed with the bulldozers and the group of people trying to move it.
Yeah. Although I learned from all the research, do not use dynamite. As fun as it sounds, it's not a good time.
Oh, yeah. You get all the gids everywhere? Is that the problem?
What?
You get all that gore everywhere?
Yeah, and yeah, people might explode. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
Well, so far, I wish I could have had better news. So far, it only has 17 views, 2 likes, and a comment, which I find that to be bullshit. I find that to be it deserves more than that. I'll let you know. I mean, like, the site is pretty new. It is kind of like an upstart of things, but I'll go ahead and do things on my side to make sure we can get that changed. Promote that story, spread it around. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to encourage other published writers here to kind of help other writers by sharing their stories, because like I see some stories they get published in it's like they have like 300 views already. It's like, wow, that's been like days. Like, well, I know you're not boosting because these are like legit. I know, I could tell, but man, like promote these guys too, because it only helps you, because the more people that see it, the better it is for everyone.
No, yeah, definitely.
But it's 10 cents on that stuff. So I mean, in a year's time, you'll definitely get a lot. You'll get a lot more than.
Oh, that's why I'm honored just to be on the site. I've read some of these. I like it.
That's good to hear. That's good. Well, not to toot my own horn or anything, but how did you hear about Deadman and Tome?
I was actually just looking in general for horror markets to read, and I saw you guys on just a list somewhere, so I clicked on it, and I just loved the name, so I had to go read something.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, what was your force? I can't even fucking talk right now. Your first story on Deadman and Tome.
What was it? Because I was doing the scroll, so I got lost in there. It might have been the Babel frequency, I think, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, that one was good. I like that one. That one is also another one that I think I like that more than the other readers. I don't think he has like a network of friends and family that want to boost his stuff or help him out. Because I talked to him, I was like, man, I really like your story, but like, it doesn't have like a lot of views right now. And so I'm trying to help him with that. And he was like, "Yeah, I have a lot of friends and family, but they're not like the reader types." It's like, "Yeah, I hear you. It happens." I mean, is that just me, or does that seem to be a thing where like people just aren't reading much?
Yeah, I don't know. You think? I mean, I tell them to, but you never know if they do know.
Yeah. All right. Before I ask you any more questions about your story, I think I might have. See, when I read your story, I might not have like the way it's supposed to be presented down there, the sort of tone. Yeah. So, would you mind presenting us with a reading of your story?
No, yeah, totally. Yeah, let me.
All right. Take it from the top, man. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, give me 1 second. And I'll be good to go.
Dark, ominous tones in the background.
Shh. Yeah, okay. Beach. The whale came in the night, dying on land before anyone knew it was there. 45 feet long and weighing over 50 tons, the massive sperm whale spent its last hours on the sand of Melville Beach, unable to return to the nearby sea that would enable its survival. The question of body disposal soon became a priority in Melville. The town survived on the money gained from tourists during the summer. The whale came in mid-July, and soon after, the smell of rotting meat pervaded the salty air and prevented anyone from setting foot on the sand. An emergency meeting was called at City Hall. Citizens planned on returning the whale to the sea. 50 citizens volunteered to aid in the removal of the body, most of which were local shopkeepers and business owners who were personally affected by the financial losses the whale corpse had caused. There was a great sense of community in City Hall that night. None of the citizens could have predicted that their effort would result in the death of 27 innocent men and women. The volunteers met on the beach the following morning. City Council provided funds for 2 bulldozers to be rented for the occasion. The plan was simple, since the unstable sand shifted every time the bulldozers tried to pick up the corpse. The volunteers were asked to maintain pressure on the other side of the body so that it could be firmly lifted by the bulldozers and subsequently hauled out past shallow water to be dumped. When the bulldozers were in place at both ends of the whale, the volunteers were ordered to push. Their backs to the sea, they planted their feet squarely on the ground and pressed against the body with all their might. The bulldozers moved forward, extended their blades under the whale, and lifted the giant into the air. Short-winded, the volunteers cheered. The whale was on a first-class trip out of town. Everything was going to be all right. Then it happened. As the whale was suspended between 2 distant bulldozers, the carcass tore in half. The whale had remained in 90-degree heat for nearly 2 days, and its innards had turned to decaying mush. Both halves tipped inward and dropped straight down on top of the volunteers, enveloping the group in 2 bell jars filled with rotting blood and blubber. The 23 volunteers who survived were lucky enough to be out of the range of the falling halves, but the rest faced impalement or asphyxiation within the whale, unable to reach the nearby air that would enable their survival. From that day forward, Melville Beach has been known as the home of the notorious sperm whale tragedy. Tourists flooded to the town like never before in spite of the smell of rotting flesh, which lingered on the beach for many years to come. The citizens regained their financial losses tenfold. Melville survived. Their problems were solved.
Oh, look at that! The timing in that story is awesome. Like the timing is great. I guess someone would be like, well, it's easy for him to have a good time. It's freaking short. It's flash fiction. Like he doesn't have 13 pages of stuff. He just has like a quick, it's almost like a summary.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's a nice one to read too. At reading.
Yeah. And I just and then it happened. And after that, when I first read it, I was laughing. I was like, okay, this guy has a sense of humor. This stuff is funny. There's no way you have townspeople impelled by freaking well, just gunk, rotten well gids, just weighing them down.
Yeah, good times. Yeah.
I can imagine some burly men with like, I don't know, trying to help clean out the well. Some beers there or something. I don't know. The whole scene. But so you can do a lot with that. You just add in the reader just kind of adds in his or her thing.
Yeah, I'm making them do the work this time now.
Yeah. Is there a political message with that?
I mean, I guess there's a little bit about just like economy and kind of like consumerism. I mean, I tried not to throw it right at people, but just kind of like the idea of like, oh, well, this needs to happen, but kind of like at what cost? And then if it all ends up okay, does it really matter what happens in between?
that is true. Like the ends justify the means, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't drown in that whale, I would have been pretty happy.
Like it boosts their local economy in many ways. The funeral homes, and then more people want to go into the town to see the well, to see what happened. Yeah. So, have you been published in other places?
A few, not too many, but a few.
Like where?
I had one in Under the Bed magazine. I don't know if you heard of that one.
Under the Bed magazine. See, I'm not so good as far as checking out like other magazines. Kind of like sometimes I feel like I'm like in my own little world because, like I said, this is more like a passion project. So I'm like, okay, Under the Bed magazine, they're still kicking.
Yeah, that I have a story coming out next January, I believe, and it's another flash fiction piece about a dead body, but this one's human, so it's a little different.
Falling on people.
What?
Is a dead human body falling on people?
No, this one just randomly appears, and they just kind of have to deal with it.
Oh man, that sounds like a bad scenario.
I don't know. It's just kind of like you wake up and you find a dead body in bed, and I just thought you could have a lot of fun with that kind of.
Oh, you could. You could have so much fun with that. That's a beginning writing prompt right there. Yeah. That magazine, yeah, they are still. Yeah, they're still around, still doing good. Cool.
So what got you started in horror writing and all that in your magazine?
That was back in like 2006. I want to say 2006. That's when Deadman's Tome. Then it was called Demonic Tome. That's when I think first sprang up, 2006. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And really, what it was, I was writing a lot of fiction, a lot of short stories and different things here and there, and I was submitting to different. I had this writer's digest of different horror markets, and I noticed a trend where like a lot of them were closing, or things were happening. I was like, man, what's going on here? Like, why does it seem like either things are shutting down, or like it's getting hard to like publish things? And so I was like, well, maybe I can put matters in my own hands. Like so what is this? Like, I'm obviously not, and I'm not even going to try to boast of like the best writer, because I'm definitely not. No, I'm not doing this because I'm sort of an established author, writer, or anything. I'm doing this because I saw a trend in the market, and I see a trend in readership, and it's like, well, is there anything I can do? Like what would I like? Out of a e-zine or magazine,
Yeah.
Especially in magazines today, like I don't even know. I guess you can still go to a bookstore and buy magazines, but it's like, why? Just about everybody has a tablet, and you can just download them.
Mm-hmm, yeah, most of it's digital these days. Yeah.
So when I did the site, initially it was you go to the site. It was demonictome.com. It was its own name, and you download a PDF every month, and had different stories here and there. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. A lot of the people that actually, there's one person in particular that came back. I said came back. He submitted a story and was published. Wow, what's his name? McQuiston is his last name. He just had a story published where, what's it called? I get so absent-minded sometimes. Fast. The boxes by Rick McQuiston. I probably didn't butcher his name. Yeah, that's where I liked. It was another short one, but that was straight to the point. It sounded like some satanic terrorist dude. He was about to like unleash some sort of crazy hell onto people. It's like, well, that's you hear like these extreme like talking heads on different political sides be like, satanic terrorist. It's like something like Alex Jones would say, satanic terrorist. Well, here you go. Here's a story about a satanic terrorist.
Yeah. Give them what they're asking for, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, he was featured in Deadman's song back when it first started, and he started publishing again with me. That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Back then, though, I wasn't offering any money or anything. It was all for free. I was like, well, and that's kind of eventually why I had to shut it down, because it wasn't making any money, which that was the thing. I knew it was going to happen, but I was kind of busy on my side. I got pretty distracted on other projects, and well, let me go ahead and put this on the back burner for now and see what I can do. And I think last year I was like, you know what, let's go and revive Deadman's song, because I think we can do I can do a lot with this. And I was like, is there a way I can make it paying? Because it's out of my allowance, it's out of my money. I save my allowance because budget my money with my wife and all that stuff. So it's it's how can I make this work? And the pay for like view, like, and comment thing, it works out. I mean, yeah, I think it, to some it might be pretty clear. It's like, well, I mean, what do you think about that? When I say, okay, your story will earn 10 cents per comment, view, and like, what do you think about that?
I like it because I like that it's connected to like the readers and all that. So it's not just blind, like, you did this, yay. It's like kind of almost like interconnected with everything. I like that idea.
And that's the goal. That's what I want. I want people, when they read the story, they're encouraged to comment, encouraged to like. I mean, they don't have to like if they don't like it. Hell, there was a dislike button. They can hit that one too. I'll give it a little share for that one as well. Like, just say something. Do something. I mean, what was the worst feedback you ever received on a story?
Oh, there's so many bad feedback now.
Rejection letters.
Oh,
God.
Oh, actually, I got a good one for Beached, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Beached
Rejection?
probably I wrote this a while ago, actually, and yeah, I got one from this place, and it was just like, there's this thing called showing instead of telling, and I think that if you do that, you might actually one day be a mildly decent writer other than what you are now.
Showing instead of telling. I hear that a lot.
And I mean, it works, but I was like, that's not what I'm doing here, but okay, thank you.
Yeah, like, showing versus telling. Like, I heard that a lot as a writer. And I'm like, okay, so you use descriptive words to show what's happening, You describe with word, with your craft, what's happening. As I'm telling you, but your story works so well. It's like it sounds like a report. It sounds like a news report on this town. Like it's almost like word of mouth. Like did this even happen? Is this even factual? But I don't know. When the well fell apart, that seemed pretty descriptive for with the little words, with the few words you use. It seemed just fine.
Yeah, I got a little self-indulgent there.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. That's the thing. When I read it, I was like, "This is hilarious. This is fucking hilarious." I mean, people should love this. The irony of it's great. And if they don't, then they don't have a sense of humor. I don't know what to tell you. So that place. What was the name of that place?
What?
What was the name of that place? The place that rejected you.
Oh, I've suppressed that.
I suppressed the memory.
I can't even tell you. That was a year ago, at least. But I have a note somewhere telling me to avoid them like the plague.
Oh, I bet so. Yeah, that was. I mean, unfortunately, I made some enemies myself as a publisher. Deadman and Tome. I can't remember the publishing company, but we kind of had a feud over something. I can't recall. I think it was. I noticed that she was saying she was publishing these authors, and what she was really doing was publishing their content. They're like Kindle Direct Publishing, like not even under her company name, but through Kindle Direct Publish. No, through Lulu, I think. Either way, it was like, wait. So you take their content, like their books and stuff, and you publish it through a self-publishing place, and you call yourself a publisher. Like, aren't you just like the middleman of a middleman?
Yeah.
And she got so mad. I think that's part of the reason why some of the stuff on like Amazon has like some 1-star stuff, some weird 1-star stuff. Like, oh, this book fucking sucks. I'm like, you didn't even fucking read it. Let me talk about it. And I think I recognize your name too. No, but that's what happens. But in the world of publishing, like a publisher is a middleman. You know, that's one reason why I didn't. And actually, after that feud, that's kind of the reason why Deadman's Tome. Another reason why I kind of shut it down for a while, because I was like, I don't know, I kind of felt like as a publisher, I'm this middleman. Like you could start a blog and post your stories on a blog, right?
Yeah, I guess. But like I said, I'm not good with the technology.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I see what you mean.
But like, do you have your stories posted somewhere like where people can read them, like your friends or family or whatever?
No. Do you?
No. And that's the thing. It's like because it's helpful to like find someone who has that. I guess has that means to make it happen. But at the same time, though, I don't want to take your content or take someone else's content. But like, okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna publish this thing, and I'm gonna get like 90%. You get like 10%. You know, I'm doing all the work here. You know, I don't want to do that. I hate that. So, have you had any bad run-ins with publishers?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've had ones where it's like 2 hours later, a rejection letter, and you got to wonder what exactly happened.
Oh wow! Like right after you submitted it, or
Oh yeah, like you click send, and like 5 minutes later, it's like bam, back to you.
like a form rejection?
I assume, yeah.
Oh, that I hated the most. I hated those form rejections. You got to receive them in the mail. I mean, like, well, this is another rejection. I could tell it's very fucking thin. Open it up. Yeah, you don't even have the title of my story in this. Like, you're just saying story. Like,
Yeah,
thank you for your submission. Thank you for your submission.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, I'm kind of bad about that myself. Not the form part, but like So I got a bunch of emails, a bunch of stories. Read like 2 or 3 today.
Mhm.
2 of which I gave exceptions to. I was like, oh, exception. I gave notice. I was like, okay, yeah, I want to take this. I want to accept this. The other one, I'm like, I don't know. Let me think about this. And then it's like, well, I gotta let them know. I gotta let them know what I think. And eventually I need to. But and for those that are listening, which the viewer count is kind of small, it's only fucking 3 right now. I kind of figured this one was because kind of like a low view count because this was like almost last minute, right? I mean, I gave you an email last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there wasn't really much notice about this. But anyway, I lost my train of thought, man.
Yeah.
Lost my.
How about you? Any horror stories from the publishing world on the other end?
um, you know what? Not so much lately. Since Deadman's Tome restarted, no, I've pretty much been cool. I kind of keep to myself. I've been noticing what other magazines do. Kind of not really following their example, but I was like, okay, Deadman's Tome needs to have an anthology. We need to have ways to like. Well, honestly, we need to have ways to bring money to the site while being able to pay for the authors, pay the writers, because this pay for pay-per-view comment alike thing is great and all, but pretty soon I'm gonna have to start giving out money, and I have been paying out, which is fine. Like I said, I honestly don't mind, but like I said, when I do that, I can't like spend money on booze or hookers or video games.
All the fun things, no.
So that's why we have this shirt and working on the anthology, which the anthology should be out in July. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's all the stories that were published last year. So the Babel Frequency is going to be in that one. And
yeah,
I'm hoping because there are a bunch of other stories that were received really well. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be successful. So I'm looking forward to that.
Really?
As far as horror stories, everything's been smooth. Everything's been a smooth ride, man, so far. Trust me, I after that one thing, which I think happened like 2008, I think. I went really nothing to do with drama and feuds. It's like I just want to be cool. Focus on the content, and that's it. Ah, man. So your worst rejection was on beach.
Not the first, but the first bad one, I should say. No. Yeah.
You get any critiques from family?
Not a lot of family, but a few friends who write and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine they would be a little, they'd probably cushion the blow, unless you have that crazy aunt or crazy uncle who's like, gotta tell you, Corey, sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I like that better than if it does suck and no one says anything, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I see that too. And you've probably seen it too on the site. I'm not going to pretend to be like the best editor, because I'm pretty sure you've seen some stories where it's like, what are you thinking? What's going on here? Like, I'm not going to like go through everyone's story like line by line and change things. Like, the story for the most part's all right. Yeah, I'll go and take it. There's some things like, man, maybe that's me kind of lowering the bar. I kind of feel like that's happening widespread. Like even established authors, famous authors, are like known for making mistakes now. It's like even what's his name? Game of Thrones guy.
Oh, George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, even he. There's people that nitpick on his style of writing and his grammatical errors. It's like, come on, man. It's like, Well, things happen. Things happen. You know. So, but I will say that I definitely put more time in the site now than I did back when I first started in 2006. So, um, yeah. But as far as what was your like? Have you taken any sort of writing classes or any sort of like? What was your inspiration as far as writing goes?
I mean, I gotta be a basic horror reader and say Stephen King, but
Stephen King, Stephen fucking King. All right.
I mean, I know he has his problems, but yeah, earlier work, I should say.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's just good stuff.
Yeah, that's
Lately, it's.
yeah.
Did you ever read? I think it was called with Stephen King on writing. They called The Craft. I had a copy of that book, but
I have a copy. I haven't touched it, but I look at it and I talk to it, but I don't actually read it.
you talked to. Well, I can understand that. There's books on my bookshelf that I want to read. I look at. I'm just like, well, if I could just absorb your knowledge.
Yeah, I just need like a download.
Like the Matrix, just Jack put a screw into my head, and I don't know, some feed the book into me.
Yeah, like. Have you read it?
Yeah, I read it. I read that thing. It was helpful. It was kind of like he was like, okay, well, knowing grammar, that's your toolbox. You got to know about style, and he kind of like was like, watch out for adverbs. Adverbs are annoying, which. And they can be annoying if they're used excessively, but I mean, his thing's like, don't ever use an adverb. It's like, dude, you use an adverb too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, you can do a lot more without an adverb.
Yeah, I always like picking the word choice, but sometimes a damn good adverb looks pretty nice to me.
I think there's a cat getting attacked under my house.
Ah.
I don't know if you can pick that up. Yeah, there's definitely something going on in my house. That's crazy. Oh shit, that's my dog. I'm gonna get my dog real fast.
Go ahead.
I don't know what you can do about the dead air. One moment.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the cat doesn't kill his dog. That would suck. Well, he could write a story about it. Any questions?
Well, whatever's attacking my dog, definitely, not my dog, my cat isn't my dog. Must be some sort of like raccoon or possum or something.
Oh, I didn't know it was your cat. I just thought it was a cat.
No, it's our cat. It's a cat that's indoor, outdoor, mostly outdoor because it's shitting all over the house. Like, no, we can't have this. So this cat literally has 3 assholes. and like the other week, actually last month, it had like this patch with just raw meat exposed next to its like ass. Like, I'm like, okay, we can't have this. Like, what's going on here? It's like, well, we brought it in, so we gotta take care of it. It's like, okay, so I'm the one who's actually treating it. He's born and all that stuff. I'm almost like, spray some antiseptic spray on it. That should be good. Should be good with it. I do that. The cat starts foaming at the mouth. Foaming at the mouth. Rabies. Why is this happening? She's convulsing. I'm looking at my phone. It's like, wait. Antiseptic is not good for cats. Like, the spray apparently is toxic to cats. It's going to cause neurological damage. Symptoms. She was showing, shaking, foaming at the mouth, shitting like crazy. Well, now we got to throw her outside because she might become paralyzed. And not gonna have a paralyzed cat. I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but a fucking wheelchair. So I treated it. I did the right thing. I took care of it. Right back inside, and now it's healed. But yeah, that's a long story about that damn cat.
Seems like it could be a horror story in itself.
It's like, man, that might be inspiration for you. I'm gonna write some story about a cat with 3 assholes.
Yeah, I mean, and no litter box. No.
Yeah. Describe how there was literally a trail of like, I don't even, just like straight up diarrhea. It was just like one day she had like this injury, if you will, this patch of fucking raw meat. She like skedaddled through the living room, just ran through the living room, ran smack into a wall, and ran up the stairs. And I turned around, I'm like, I noticed that there's a splotch of like this mustard-looking stuff throughout the room. I'm like, oh wait, what's going on here? And right at the wall where she hit, it was like fucking like shit bombs.
It ignited.
Yeah, I'm cleaning up all this shit, literally. And some people are probably like, you're off topic. You're not talking about a story, but it's like, yeah, you gotta be more relaxed. You gotta chill. You gotta talk about other things too. And that's what I want to do with this in the future. Because it's like, honestly, because your story's short, so I can only say so much about it. Eventually, it's like, well, you talk about this other shit as well.
Yeah.
What's going on in Corey Niles' life? What's going on?
I mean, I feel like everything interesting is on the page, not in real life. I gotta make it interesting somehow.
I hear that.
No, just writing. How about you? What do you do when you're not on Deadman's Tome?
Yeah, I work for the state of Texas.
Ah.
Work for the state as an investigator, so I'm pretty busy. Yeah. I know it's kind of big. As a child investigator in the CPS, so I see a lot of things.
Seen some shit.
Get involved in a lot of things. So when I say that, I don't know, sometimes it gives me time to like read submissions, work on the site. Sometimes I'm busy. Too busy.
Yeah.
Have you checked out? There's 2 stories that I posted last week. They're kind of similar in the fact that they have a theme of a fucking old lady, candied in a small problem, or not? What's a small problem? I think it's a small problem. Yeah, small problem. Like these 2 stories are like unique as far as like Deadman's Tome goes, because like usually the content's like it has a kind of either bloody, disgusting, or maybe just dark and twisted,
Mm-hmm.
But these 2, man, these 2 stand out in a pretty interesting way. So you haven't checked them out?
No, I haven't seen. Now I want to read them now.
Yeah. The first one, Candy, that one's about this old lady. She, it's like she's reflecting on her life, that she is still alive while her friends and family are dead, and she's feeding herself. I've got to read it again. Pretty much, she has like coolant, antifreeze, like in her.
Oh, okay.
She's cooking up, and it's not meth. And she's gonna enjoy a moment of like suicide, pretty much. I just want to ease on and see the reaper, that sort of thing. I'm done with my time. I'm done with my time. Not a small problem that this woman's like just constantly shrinking. It kind of reminds me of something like Stephen King, like what was it, Thinner?
Thinner? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. It did kind of remind me of that. So um, I'm going all over the place right here. So Stephen King, that was your guy that got you into writing, into horror.
Yeah, I read it at way too young an age. And then, well, I say read loosely because at like 10, I don't know if anyone really reads it. But
yeah, at 10, I was reading things, looking at pictures.
But yeah, no, that got me started. And then, I mean, lately, what have I been reading? I read a lot of Flash. I feel like it's just quick and easy, and I kind of like that.
You know, that's one thing I've been wanting to open up Deadman's Tome. I butchered that. I want more Flash fiction on the site because I feel like that's going to be more of a main grab. I honestly feel like that's how things are going to going. It's just what people send it to me. And I really don't know what the paying rate is for Flash, but like I said, the way I'm paying, I guess it doesn't really matter. And I find people that are kind of interested, like what does this mean? Pay per view, like what are you doing? And I tell them, I was like, okay. What sites are really good for Flash?
Do you mean in general or horror?
Horror really, because I don't really see Deadman Stone opening up to other genres really. It's kind of put itself in a corner with the name.
Wait, are you saying which ones I like reading, or?
Yeah, which ones do you like reading?
Yeah, I think there's one called Literary Hatchet. It's pretty cool.
Literary Hatchet. All right. Check them out.
I like when they have a little bit of a literary going on, because I feel like it kind of goes back to what you said about that, not just having blood and gore for the sake of it. Mm-hmm. Kind of just having a little substance in there. But yeah.
Yeah, because you can have a good story. You can even have a good horror story without blood and gore all the time. You don't necessarily need that. Your story practically works, but there's gore there as well, but it's not really that descriptive.
No.
It's not to the point where it's trying to really push the envelope. It's not like like if you were to turn it into a movie, it's not Saw.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's almost like, actually, if you were to turn that into a movie, it's almost like a very twisted kids movie, like some sort of weird one, not a Pixar movie, but like one that's like weird. What's the other? DreamWorks. I don't know, it makes no sense probably, but I'm trying to think. Have you ever seen the movie fucking Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, something like that with that sort of artistic. Because everything sounds all happy and good, and that's actually kind of what I was envisioning. Like just a bunch of like happy town folk, just trying to do their thing, help the town. It's okay though, because everything's good. Because more people are going to the town. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Yeah. You got to have a happy ending. It's.
Oh man, I really got to read your story about the dead body in the bed, because I'm just saying what you like the dead body in the bed. Why do you call 911? Because it'll be like, why do you have a dead body in the bed? I don't know. I'm calling you. Why do I have a dead body in the bed? Next thing you know, you're being you're arrested and charged for something. They're gonna just say like, well, maybe murder, maybe this, maybe that. You dismantle the body, try to hide it, get rid of it. That's crazy. So what do you do when you find a body in a bed?
What? I would probably just cry. Not like hysteric crying, but just like that slow, sad one of just understanding you're like fucked completely. Just the somber sob. No, but I feel like you got to try to hide it, but that never ends well.
What authority are you going to call, right? You call the ambulance, well, the cops are going to come too, and be like, you got a body in your bed. You robbing court? Are you robbing graves or something? What's going on here?
I think the
Oh
best
man.
thing to do is just to bring the dead body to a different person's bed. I think that might be the solution.
So it's like an apartment complex. Like you bring it to your roommate's bed. Be like, I don't know. I'm not the one who killed it. He did.
I
She
mean,
did.
on their bed. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
not
my.
my bed. I don't know what happened there.
Are you big on horror films?
Yeah, I'm pretty good on horror films. Not as good as I should be. I mean, the last one I watched was, oh my god, Netflix has some horrible movies at times. Like, like they say Netflix is doing great as far as like their original content. I'm like, these movies that they have are just. Have you seen Zombie?
What?
Have you seen Zombie?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's stupid. It's fucking dark. It's take let's say take Jurassic Park. Take that concept of like an open park, you know, but with animals. So like a zoo, because there's nothing really new about it other than it's supposed to be like endangered species, but really all they show is fucking elephants, giraffes, and monkeys. But there's some sort of crazy virus that makes them like rabies, zombified things. That's pretty much it. It sounds kind of like you could do something with that, but the park's not even open to the people. So it's just like the orientees that are working there. So I'm like, so wait, what? What's the problem? Oh my god, it's like the CG on the monkeys. Have you seen Jumanji? Like the
Oh,
90s Jumanji?
oh yeah.
Okay, I mean, that CG was barely passable during that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's worse than that.
Gosh.
It's worse than that.
Is it just like a 1D drawing, just kind of going like this?
That would be better. That would be more. It's so bad where like they blur it and everything around it whenever you see it.
Oh god. Uh-uh.
And whenever the CG is presented, they make sure like the actors aren't even near it. So that way, that's how bad it is. And then when the monkey is on the people, it looks like a stuffed animal. It is a stuffed animal.
God.
But what horror movie have you seen lately?
The last one I saw was The Witch. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
Oh no! I missed that. I missed that.
It's
How is it?
it's worth it. It's worth it. It was pretty weird. Even for me, and that's saying something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the trailer, the preview for that movie. I can't recall that one. But you would rewatch it. You'd watch it again.
Yeah, it was good. It's kind of like Puritan times or whatever,
That's
just come
right.
across the
That's
street.
right.
And there's just this witch, and it was just weird in a good way. I mean, yeah, it was something. It's hard to explain, but I think it's worth a watch, if only to just try to see what the hell's going on. But also, have you seen The Babadook? That's pretty good.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
I think that one's on Netflix. That one's pretty good too.
I'll make sure I check that one out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like some kind of creature one. But yeah.
That's right, The Witch. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it now. The preview for it. Okay, yeah, I remember that. That's right. I did want to see it. I remember wanting to see it. I was like, well, I don't know, because it looked kind of big. But for some reason, I had the feeling it was going to go like some sort of like the Village direction or something, like they're building it up for something else. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't disappointing or anything.
No, thank God it wasn't like a Shyamalan film. No.
So what you see is what you get. They're not like trying to like.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah, they say The Witch, and there's one there for sure, and not a fun one.
So like a Salem witch trial sort of witch.
Oh, like, yeah. I mean, I guess that they don't get to a trial really. She just lives in the woods and she just eats people. It's like it's a good old fashioned kind of witch, you know.
Yeah, you gotta have those. You gotta have those. The long stringy hair, the ugly look.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just like the foreign body. Yeah, good time.
Yeah. Did she ever disguise herself as a hot blonde?
Oh, of course. Yeah, for the young male.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I'd probably fall for that. I'd fall for that. I know. A Puritan male, you see a hot blonde, you're like, well, might as well fall for that.
Yeah. Got nothing else going for him there. No.
No. I mean, I guess you look for the native women, the Indian women. Good luck on that. Witch. I gotta check that out. I might end up. So you would definitely say it's worth the ticket price to go see that movie. You would say it's worth the ticket price to see it in theaters.
I would. I mean, it's a slow burning one, but when it gets there, it gets there.
All right. Oh, so make that recommendation. It's worth the ticket price. So don't pirate that. Don't pirate that one. Even though I might not end up stringing it on Cody. I'm not really sure. See, the thing is, I also have a kid. I'm gonna have 2 kids soon. So I gotta, and I also have to pay you guys. So I have to make sure my money's spent wisely. So buy my fucking shirt, not you. If you would listen. No, it's all right. So, what else have you been watching?
Have you seen It Follows? That's a new one. And by new, I mean it came out in 2014, but I've seen it recently, so I think it's new now.
Oh no! I haven't seen that one either. That's 3 strikes, man. That's 3 strikes.
Yeah, what you
doing?
Shit. You gotta stop breathing and get watching those movies now.
They stop taking care of fucking kids. They're like,
yeah, that's selfish.
The shittiest parents, shittiest families.
Yeah. What other horror films have you seen lately? Any good ones?
Fuck. Not any good ones. Well, I watched, for some reason I try to sit through Amityville Horror again.
Which version?
The new one, or the newest one. I'm just like, hey, Ryan Reynolds. I was like, how bad can this be? There's Ryan Reynolds in it. It's like, is this a comedy? And it almost seemed like it was, because it was like, man, I'm not really buying this guy. Like this guy, like, even though he's demented, it almost was like he's just an asshole. He's just like this murderous asshole. He's going to kill his whole family.
Yeah, I let out some chuckles with the wood cutting scene myself.
Hold the fucking wood.
Yeah, you just gotta
hold it still. If you get shaky, I get shaky. And you don't want me to get shaky.
Yeah, I feel like that's not the best task for the children. I don't know.
No. I'll definitely fall in child endangerment.
Yeah,
if I see that sort of case, I'll be like, well, no, guy, you're fucked.
Yeah. Although, as far as like horror movie parents go, that he might be in the top 10%. I mean,
horror movie parents. That's a good talk right there. Horror movie parents, because he had The Shining. I mean, here's Johnny, the whole murderous rampage. But
now I'm trying to think if there's any other ones, because I always think of The Shining and good old Axe.
And the original Amityville, like, the dad was even like a murderous bastard. He just was, I guess, stressed or something.
Yeah. Because then he just gets really stressed, and then like the stairs start leaking. So.
Yeah, like general house maintenance problems, like things that happen in my house. Like, this thing busted for no reason. Do I have a ghost, or is it just bad plumbing? Mm, let me just go ahead and call it Ghost Adventures, and they can just all do all episode in my house.
I mean, I think an exorcism would be cheaper than fixing a water main.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be. I think the next time there's a maintenance problem in my house, I think I'm just gonna call it an exorcist. Like, sweetie, we could, get someone out here that can fix the plumbing problem, or we can just, go with God. We can just pray it. Pray for it.
We're just gonna really hope something works.
Exactly. I love for people to say that to the preachers. Be like, "Oh, you say prayer works, right? So why instead of taking your car to the shop, you just pray? Yeah, it just fills itself up. You just pray that it takes care of itself. That's what you do. You just pray that it takes care of itself."
Yeah, I'd be a lot richer if that works. I mean,
oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Nah, man, if prayer worked, everyone would be fucking rich. Because that's just one thing. What does everyone pray for? I want to be rich. I don't want to be poor anymore. Like you think poor people want to wish, please God, help me see more. I just want to see more.
but then you get into the thing where people can pray to fuck over other people, which is, frankly, I think the fun prayer time. I mean,
yeah. Please God, please help my best friend Stacy not pass her test or whatever.
Let the bitch fail. She deserves it. No.
I noticed her husband's been eyeing me. Can you please help him? Like, I get in like a situation where we can find a true love, because Stacey doesn't really love him. Stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point we've really fucked over Stacy, but I think that could be fun. No.
Yeah. And and you're putting in the prayers, like God receives it, like as a voicemail. He's like, you know what? I don't like Stacy either. Fuck you, Stacy. And there you go. You have any religious stories?
Let's just say none that go in the favor of that.
Oh, man.
How about you? You read any fun ones? Any exorcisms?
I wish. I actually don't really recall any. Fuck, man, I don't recall any stories actually push religious. No, not submissions for Deadman's Tome. No. That's sad too, because I'm agnostic and I wouldn't object to, obviously, like as far as the site goes, like yeah, I don't really care if I'm really not concerned about people's sensibilities. Like someone submitted a story and I liked it, and it was like all about like babies mauled up by like some sort of like crazy Satan dude, or like some sort of Lovecraft ritual. I'll be like, well, it's pretty fucked up and demented, and I might have some concerns about your ability to take care of your kid. You might be a murderous asshole too. But let's go ahead and have like your story.
Yeah.
You don't have any kids, right?
Yeah, you got to do method. Yeah, method writing probably won't work well in this field.
Yeah. Man. Speaking like in the field, that brought me back to like what I do. So I'm a CPS investigator, right? So, in talking about the witch, I swear to God, I've seen a witch in real life. like, I try not to judge. I try not to. One of my professional self, it is it. It's like, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I try not to judge. I go to this house for a case of physical neglect. Like that means like the place is a shithole, and it is a shithole. Like the trailer is like, it has like a mound of garbage in front of it, and the door was already left open. So it just sort of like, I pushed it and it kind of went in, kind of on its hinges, and like the trailer was like walled off with like plywood. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like you can see the interior a little bit, but the rest was walled off. So I'm like, okay, there's no one here, and it looks like a junkyard. So let me go and leave. As I'm leaving, I turn around. I see this old woman. She has like every feature you can think of, like a classical witch look. Every feature, like the the moles, the huge, nasty looking bumps, that sort of thing, like these lumps looking thing. Whoa, whoa. She was all nice. She was nice and helpful. But I was like, man, please don't touch me.
Just safe distance.
I don't know what's going on here. And then it matters worse. Like the rest of the family, man, I'll just leave with Eric because it's like, whoa, what am I looking at here? Is this like the hills have eyes sort of situation? Please tell me there's no kids here. Silver lining, there were no kids there. But the rest of us like, fuck, you have to kidding me.
No, that's sketchy.
Yeah, that is sketchy. That's sketchy. But yeah. But yeah, as far as me, as far as I go, as far as writing, I mean, because I do that, I write so much as far as like my job goes. Because every day it's like another essay I have to write. I don't really have time for like just creative writing anymore. And when I do, it turns out it almost sounds like I'm writing for work. It's like, this is like objective, like case by case, like time stamped stuff, which works for some things, but
I don't know if you have more reports like that. I think you might have something you can sell there.
maybe you have to change names and all that stuff.
Yeah, just change them. Yeah, I worked at a hospital one summer doing transport, and I got a lot of stories there too.
Oh, that's so. Hospital transport. So like ambulance or?
Oh no, just like inside the hospital, just moving to scans and surgeries and whatnot. But
Oh man.
get some interesting stories in between all that.
Oh yeah. Give me where did you get this gunshot, guy? I mean, you were shot. Like, what happened here?
You don't even have to ask. Usually they just tell you. Like this one guy I just like was taken on an elevator. He's like, you know that I've been in jail until last year for like 20 years.
Oh yeah, that just spilled the beans, huh?
Yeah, and I was like, oh really? And he was like, yeah, I sold cocaine. You know, I had a drug ring, but I guess he thought this was a funny story because I guess he went in front of the judge, and the judge said, you know, you're selling this, you're on cocaine, what's going on? And he's like, well, I'm not on cocaine, I just like the smell of it. So I guess he got put away for 20 years.
I just like the smell. Okay. Can you demonstrate how you smell the cocaine? Well, I like to get like some money, get a dollar bill.
Yeah, just... So yeah, you get a lot of fun stories working on stuff like that.
Oh man, like shit, some crazy, like a tweaker, like a meth head that has like gnarly STDs. Oh, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, there's this one guy I had. He was in restraints naturally, and hair down to his ass and nails like out to here, real long. And he just kept asking, "Can you take these off? They're itching." And I was like, "Oh no, that's all right." Oh.
And naturally, he was restrained. Naturally.
Yeah, but I mean, they're itching. Someone asked me
with this Wolverine claws, man.
Yeah.
Man, crazy stories. I mean, that right there that's a plethora of like inspiration, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's why I love horror stories, because I feel like I like the fake stuff. It's not as scary as the real shit that you see.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the reality is what is scarier than fiction at times, and that's what I liked about your story. You know, to kind of go back to that real quick for the last few minutes. That it's just it reads like it was a news report. It's something that could actually happen. Because it is something that does happen, although I'm never sure it happens like that. But if it does, that's kind of a weird way to get rid of a well. That's the thing I like about it. It reads like it's a true story. And of course, it's ironic. It's funny. Like I said to you in the email, it's like a tribute. It's like a blood sacrifice to like the god of economy, the money god.
Yeah.
And I could see the small town politician, like mayor, running on a campaign. I saved the town by getting rid of the well. No, you saved the town by killing lives. It's a government conspiracy. You killed lives so that your Illuminati game can continue going. Shit like that. All right. It's almost time. It's like 11:30 over here. But so before we go, first of all, like I said, I like your story. Your story is awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for sharing about how your inspiration for the story, reading your story, and a little bit about yourself. Like what goes on in the life of Mr. Niles. To the fans out there, to the readers, why would you recommend Edmund's Tome?
What? Sorry.
To the readers, to the fans, why would you recognize Deadman's Tome? Recommend Deadman's Tome. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'd recommend it because I think like every story, there's a level of horror to everything, but I think it's so vast and so different, and I think like it's not just the same thing repeated. There's so many different like little worlds you can jump into that aren't necessarily fun all the time, but it's so cool just to get into these different minds.
That's awesome. Like that. I mean, little worlds right there. I mean, that's a good way to talk about little worlds. And each post is another world. And for those that are listening and those that listen later on YouTube and stuff, like read, like, and share. I mean, I think that artwork, the banners on every story, and the shirt, like buying the shirt helps. Like I hate the shirt. It helps.
And it's a nice shirt. God damn.
It is a cool shirt. Like Tree Spring's cool. Like you only need a few orders for it to go through, and a few more people buy a shirt or put an order in, it can happen. I'll put in an order. So, with that said, dude, this has been awesome. It's great. This is the first one. I'll probably invite you in for later on, for later episodes if you're down for it.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Thanks so much.
Oh, that's cool. All right, man. You gotta enjoy the rest of the night, man.
Yeah, you too. Get watching. You got a list.
I do. I'll start watching now. All right, thanks.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye.